Hi, it's Gerry, and welcome to day 140 of A Course in Miracles. The title of the lesson today is Only Salvation Can Be Said to Cure. Now, I'm just going to tell you what the lesson said, and then I'll reflect on what I think that means to me. And again, it's a difficult idea, and the last thing I'd want to do is judge somebody. So I'm going to just talk about how I find that this relates to me. So, only salvation can be said to cure. The world sees the body and the mind as separate and tries to make a sick body, in quotation marks, better. But that's an illusion. Atonement heals with certainty and cures all sickness. Sickness, where guilt is absent, cannot come, for it is but another form of guilt. Atonement takes away the guilt, which makes sickness possible. This is cure indeed, for sickness is gone. And it says too, there is no place where holiness is not, and nowhere sin and sickness can abide. This is the thought that cures. And the text continues, do not be misled by what appears as sick. Go beyond the appearance and reach the source of healing from which nothing is exempt. Okay. And it says as well, be still and listen for the voice, capital V, voice. The voice of healing. The voice speaks truth and illusions and peace returns to the quiet home of God. So, for 5 minutes in the morning and before going to bed, I am to pray, only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. And then it says, listen in silence and joy. This is the day when healing comes to us, when separation ends, when we remember who we really are. And I'm also to repeat that phrase, those phrases, only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. And I did that. And, you know, I have to say, I feel very well. Like, since I started this course, I got a cold for a few days, and I rested and got better. And I think it was just my body saying, you need to rest for a little bit here. But for the most part, my health has been really good. And my health is always good. And I always do try to live in peace. And as I said throughout all these lessons on healing, is that my body feels really good. Aches and pains, which I once had, are actually disappearing. So there is something to be said for this. And maybe this is what Louise Hay said too, that a lot of our sickness, a lot of our ailments come from wrong thinking. And when we think the truth, when we think, God's love and forgiveness and compassion, sickness goes away. When we don't think of guilt and blame ourselves, sickness goes away. There's tremendous healing in that. And to me, I think that's what this lesson is talking about. Like I say, I don't want to judge anybody because there's been, what makes me question this lesson a little bit, I guess, is that there's been some really, really amazing and wonderful people who've gotten cancer. Would I say, oh, you're thinking the wrong way? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't judge people in any way. Everybody has their own journey. I'm just saying that for me, how I'm feeling right now and how I generally feel in my life, because I do always try to walk with God in love and compassion, that I feel good. And I think that brings peace and healing. So that's what I take from that. And I'm only speaking for me. But I don't know. Think of how this lesson applies to you and to your life. How you feel healing and peace and wellness and God's grace and goodness in your heart. It's hard to think of those things and not feel good, honestly. Now, does that take away all illness? I don't know. But it's certainly hard to think of those things, like God's love and grace and compassion and how God loves us as sacred children. It's hard to think of that and not feel well and happy. So, those are my reflections for today. May God bless you abundantly, and I look forward to our conversation tomorrow. Tomorrow we begin another review session, so we're going to review, I think, the last 20 lessons. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much. May God bless you abundantly, and we'll talk more tomorrow. Peace be with you.